I've been saying I was rich since I was broke. Yeah. It's a state of mind, you gotta know. Yeah. That it's gonna happen for sure. Had to take my time, take it slow.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Road to Freedom podcast, where we talk about everything business, mindset, life, but most importantly, freedom. Freedom of thought and freedom of pursuit, where you get to learn how to attain everything you've ever wished for, and where you also get to open your mind on a variety of topics. My name is Austin. We're here with the Professor Brothers and Big Sis.
Hi.
It's crack-a-lackin'.
Hey, I'm back.
Meep. Backing's better. What was the last episode that you were on? It was like episode
4.
5. This transgender one, my favorite so far. That's the best performing video so far.
Really?
Is it?
Yeah. And like, for example, like right now, which is going to be funny looking back at this video later, like 6 months from now. But typically how it works is that when we drop a video, it takes like some time. It takes some time to get about 100 views, but little by little throughout the week, it'll climb. So typically it takes about a week so far to get 100 views on the podcast episode. But the transgender one like popped off like
Right away.
300
Really?
pretty quick. Yeah, right now it's like 350. The original first episode that got shared around a lot has like 450 views right now. So pretty fire.
The
if you
very
ask me.
first
Big
podcast?
fire.
The episode 1.
Mm.
The one that was like super spontaneous.
Mm.
Remember that? Remember how like spontaneous it was?
You
Yeah.
think it was? I think it was a little planned.
Come
No.
on, man.
It wasn't at all.
Not like it's not like this.
It was like
No,
Austin.
not like
Austin
this.
was like five minutes before. Would you like to be on the podcast? Like, sure.
Yeah,
And
it was.
we pulled up, and it just
Yeah.
was
I had-
magic.
I had talked about it before, but yeah, that day that we actually recorded, because
Yeah.
I had all the stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'd bought all the stuff,
Yeah.
so it was just like stacked of equipment in the room, and then I was like, yeah, let's just record something, and then we ended up recording.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
but
Now
yeah.
we're here today.
now we're here today, and it's been popping too. Like
8
some of
weeks
the
later.
some of the like the clips on YouTube Shorts has been getting like 4K views,
Really?
5K, almost has 5K views on one of the videos. Facebook too, one of the videos has like 1.2 million
I knew
plays.
that, yeah.
And like
Light work.
30K comments or something, or like a bunch of I think maybe 30K likes. I forget how many shares, thousands of shares.
Mm.
And then what else?
Thousands of shares.
Yeah, I just
feel
know.
you.
I just know.
I feel
I don't
you.
know the exact metrics on that
Yeah.
video, but I for sure has thousands of shares. On YouTube, I mean on Instagram too, it's starting to pick up a little bit more. I think the algorithm's
Yeah.
starting to figure out what the audience is, you know?
Mm.
Thank God I stuck. I mean, obviously there's no other choice, but sticking with it, you know? And trying out different kinds of videos and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you've been putting out a lot too, so.
Yeah, every day. Even today, I was like literally, I haven't stopped today. Like I woke up and then went to Starbucks and started working, and then got back to the house and kept working, and then I finished with America First,
Mm.
made a clip for RTF,
Yeah.
and then got ready, ironed, fucking drove here, and then now we're recording. So,
Whoop.
but yeah, one thing that I've been kind of thinking about the past that's specifically this past week or two, was like in regards to like limiting beliefs, because what I've found with me, like especially these last 2 weeks, because I think this is like a topic that we like a lot. Like I think we're all passionate about like
Yeah, for
subconscious, how the conscious and subconscious works, because number one, we were never taught these things growing up.
Most definitely.
So it was like when we learned these things, it was like discovering treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Not
it's
only
like-
that too, but I feel like to a degree it could be arguably the foundation of self-development.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I
is
mean?
100%. That's why every self-development book, you can't
Starts
not
at-
talk about the
you're right.
subconscious mind.
Even
the
if it's not
self-development
about
book.
the subconscious mind, they still mention it.
Yeah.
Usually,
Yeah.
typically.
Like you're a badass isn't fully about the
No.
subconscious.
Should we do another
Or
clip?
the
You're a
law of
badass
attraction.
right now? Just kidding.
They should
Some
sponsor us.
fire.
Get
Yeah.
it? Yeah, real talk.
Jensen Shira, where
Every
you at?
episode, you're
Yeah,
a
where you
badass.
The subtle art too, Mark Manson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Go and get it if you.
go to the link in the bio. Affiliate. Anyways, no, but yeah, about and the thing is too is there's so much to talk about in regards to the subconscious mind. But one thing for me specifically is that even though I know a lot about it, and I mean at least compared to the average person, I still experience limiting beliefs. And I'm not consciously aware of it until I analyze my actions later throughout the week.
Mm.
Like, I'll give you an example. Like, when it comes down to the real estate business, is that I think I'll over hype something in my mind. Like, I make an issue that's not really an issue into a big issue.
I get
Where
you.
like I'm like, it's all these like little things, that add up, and I'm like, fuck, I have to do so many of these little things that sometimes I get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But then I do it and it takes me like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, that like wasn't fucking hard, you know? So then I started thinking, you know what? I think what's going on is that I think I'm still like, I still have more discovering of these limiting beliefs that here's the thing is that I know with America First is that, well, we've talked about this many times before outside the camera, but essentially this is a way to make massive amounts of money, and it is a way that we're going about making massive amounts of money. But that being said is that obviously we've grown up. None of us have ever experienced 6 figures in 1 month. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would know in the family. So it's like, I don't know what it is, but there's like these, I know that there's these unconscious, subconscious thoughts in my mind that sometimes prevents me from like, starts creating these excuses. That's essentially where all the overhype in my mind is stemming from, is I know those subconscious limiting beliefs. And what ended up happening was that I was scrolling through Instagram. You were there. You maybe remember this, but I seen this one girl and she ran. I don't know the way that she said it. I knew this, but just the way that she had phrased it was a little different. So it kind of hit me more. Where I was like, yeah, like it clicked in my mind.
Yeah, sometimes it just clicks when people say it the right way.
You hear it 10 fucking trillion times, and then one
Someone
time it just clicks.
Different flavor.
Yeah. So she had said essentially along the lines of like, the limiting beliefs that you had in the past had at some point in life had served you.
Yeah.
And I realized that that's fucking true.
Is it that one girl?
Yeah, that one girl that you see me listening to.
That is not the one that I said that reminds me of Alyssa.
No.
Oh,
I only seen that one video you showed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like
the video I sent you.
Guys,
I didn't see it.
Your self-limiting beliefs.
Yeah, and there's
the
like
white lady,
elegant.
the old
she's
white
like
lady?
she's like Mexican or something, Hispanic.
Yeah, she's Mexican.
Your soul is the doorway to the.
Yeah,
that reminded me.
As the music
similar
is
vibes are like beyond. What is it? Believe in the unseen.
Yeah,
of course I want to remember
for sure. Like you'd have her on the show, huh?
Yeah, yes, she'd be honored. Anyways, but yeah, so when she had said that though about, I mean, once again, I already knew this. We talked about this when we talked about You're a Badass. Go to the link in bio. Just kidding. Was that about the limiting beliefs about how they've served you at some point in time? So I know that with me specifically is that there's still more things that I had to discover. And the thing is that I enjoy going through experiences because it allows me to discover more of who I am.
Yeah.
And it's kind of dope. Like you start to like, I think it's really hard in the time of going through it. But I started realizing that I get like lazy or I start feeling like some kind of way right before I start getting success. And I would ask myself, why do I keep feeling like this? Like, why do I keep feeling right before I know something's good about to happen that all of a sudden self-sabotage starts coming in, you know? And it's like, once again, I do that little bit of work that I've been procrastinating on, and it took me 2 hours. Yeah. And I'm like, what's going on, you know? So
hence the overhyping.
Hence the overhyping, which I know is a derivative of the subconscious limiting belief.
Yeah.
You know?
Perfectly said.
And I think too, just by identifying that factor, that allows me to kind of move forward. And what happens is that I end up just saying, you know what, I'm going to commit to some time to working. And I just sit down at the desk and I start working. And as it starts to flow, I don't even think about anything else anymore. Now I'm just doing the work. And I'm just like,
just starting.
Yeah, it's always just starting too. And that's one thing I've discovered about procrastinating is two things. Number one is putting your phone away. That's fucking huge. Like what I'll do is that I'll turn off my phone, or I'll get my phone and I'll throw it across the room, like onto the bed. Where it's like I had to like get up, you know, I had to get up, and if I want to go on Instagram, I had to get up and walk over there, knowing that I'm being unproductive. Versus if I have it in my pocket or on the desk, something happens where the video is loading or the list is loading, and I just grab it, and now I'm on it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But the thing is that those things add up over time. Yeah. Definitely. So think about not only throughout the day, every time that you're grabbing, not only the actual time that you're using to be on your phone, but also the concentration zap. Yes. You know? Yes. So you got to get back on track.
The focus shift.
You got to fucking put the sales back up again, you know? Yeah. Versus not even having that and just being focused, you know? And definitely. I've started to realize that the more that I do that, the quicker I get shit done. So I get to fucking get the work done, and then I don't have to worry about later throughout the day, like, fuck, I still have to do this, I still have to do this. And it comes from a 10-hour duty throughout the entire day to like a 4-hour duty. Yeah. So where I actually kind of have some free time, and I'm kind of like, this is a little unusual, you know? And then there's times too where like I will tell myself like, you work really hard and like, man, just fucking take a break. But then I take a break and I go on YouTube and I'm like, I can't enjoy this. Like I got more shit to do, you know? But that was just a recent experience that I had in regards to like the limiting beliefs, and I just thought it was interesting about how no matter how much I know that I'm still gonna be discovering more and more about myself. And another thing too, I'll say real quick as well is that another thing too that I've been really working on is being in the moment. And I've heard this before, like be in the moment, you know. And I've known what it's like to do that in a meditative state, like when you're meditating, because you know they say that like the power of now.
Yeah, but throughout the day,
and not only because that too throughout the day, like remembering in my mind like there's no past and present, you know, and being specifically there in the moment. Actually, I went to the orchestra yesterday, and I'm like in the middle of a thought loop, like 15 minutes in. I'm like, wait, I'm at the orchestra, dude. Like I paid money to be here, so let's focus on what I got. Because I was thinking about what am I gonna eat later, and I'm like, bro,
you're mentally in the future.
Yeah, mentally in the future, and literally in my mind, I'm like somewhere else.
I did that.
I realized there, holy shit, I consciously snapped back, and I'm like, oh wait, I'm not fucking. I'm here. Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah.
That's go ahead.
No, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say it's crazy that you're talking about that, because that's literally the two things I've been thinking about a lot recently. Because I just deleted Instagram because of the same exact reason.
Yeah.
I like deleted it off my home screen, so it's not like. But whenever like you post stuff, I have it.
Re-downloaded or.
Yeah, no, I have it, like, I can search it, but it's not, like, right there on my home screen. I only go on it to, like, repost your stuff.
It's not easily accessible.
I'm just not on it. I'm not using it. Like, I'm not, only for your stuff, I re-download it and then, or,
out.
like, accept it, and then I get off of it. Because I was spending so much time on it all the time.
Yeah.
Because it was, like, a habit.
Yeah, and then not only that, but it's designed to keep you addicted and on the platform, you know?
Yeah,
so like for example, the wheel thing, when, like, you refresh on your activity page, it's designed like that intentionally. Like, for example, if you're out at the casino and you pull down the lever, and sometimes you win the game, sometimes you don't, it's the same type of thing. Because they've studied that, and they know that you get a dopamine release when they can be spontaneous. So there was this study that was done with the pigeon, and with the pigeon, every time that it got it tapped a button and something released, like a piece of food or a treat, it released dopamine or it got fucking excited. However they measured that.
Started hitting the Dougie.
Yeah, essentially. And then what ended up happening was that the way that they made it fucking go crazy was that there was no connection between when the bird tapped the button and getting the treat.
There was no.
But you had to tap the button to get something. But it wasn't like, okay, every 5 taps something happens.
It was no pattern.
There was zero pattern. So the pigeon went haywire. So it's similar to how it is on the Instagram platform or social media. It's designed to do that because it wants you to stay on the platform, and the reason why is because
they're making more money.
They're making more money. So you can more than likely you can actually put it on like a spreadsheet and show that every X amount of hours equates to X amount of revenue income. So our income goal is X amount. So we need to discover a way to push up our users' time spent on the platform. And the way we do that is by let's start studying how the casinos work. Let's start studying this and that. Then they implement it and they get those results. And now they're trying to figure out how the fuck can we put more people and stay more people on. That's why TikTok is a huge threat to Facebook, to Meta, to Mark Zuckerberg. And what's on YouTube as well. And YouTube, so that's why YouTube has YouTube Shorts now. That's why Facebook has
They're
Facebook
all
Reels.
Copying it.
Yeah,
TikTok.
And what ended up happening was that the Instagram algorithm sometime back, I think earlier in March of 2022, because of this, they end up seeing that. So they have statistics. They can see a bunch of people are leaving the platform. And it's on a downtrend. What they ended up doing, and they seen that TikTok's a huge fucking threat, and that everybody's going over to TikTok. So what they did was that they ended up pushing more reels. That's why if you post a picture or if you post a long form video, it doesn't get as many likes because the algorithm doesn't favor that. Yeah. The algorithm's favoring reels because that's what keeps people more on the platform. You know,
that's what's trending.
That's
what's trending right now. Yeah, that's the success formula. So let's adapt and move into it.
Which makes sense. From a business standpoint.
Most definitely.
You know, if you keep doing the old shit, you're gonna go out of business. You know, just because you can't hold on to past ideologies.
Point being, that's why when you come up with some content that you can keep people engaged for an X amount of time, they push whatever content that you have because you're helping them keep people on their platform.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is also good too for like learning how to use the algorithm, is because if you can figure out how the algorithm works, you can kind of coin content around having the algorithm pick up your content. You know, kind of like a wave. You know, you can kind of learn how to surf on the wave and the algorithm wave. You know. But I've learned though that the primary thing that it's most important is two things. Number one is the actual content has to be good, and number two, the hook has to be really good. So even though we're talking about some fire shit that can change somebody's lives, you have to figure out the proper way to market that piece of content. So like the hook, like for example, the dead body one, like there's that's the first thing because they can scroll past in 2 seconds. You know, the gnat.
If I just started saying, look, you gotta start cleaning. Look.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like in 10 seconds in, you're still talking about, and then this and that happened, and then low tonality.
What is this guy saying? Look,
exactly, because they can easily swipe, you know. So you have to actually cultivate content around that and create some really good hook. Like, this is how you save $5 billion, or this is how you become rich, and then it's the next thing. So it hooks that person, it keeps them in. But this is also part of marketing too. But I mean, I guess at this point I digress. Now we're getting into some business analytics. But
I was gonna say, like, to me it sounds like everything always sounds like Black Mirror to me, like Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
you know what?
Don't get me started on that shit. Huh?
You know what that show is?
Yeah. Have you watched it? It's on Netflix. It's like some fucking freak shit.
You have to watch it.
Is it interesting though?
Yes.
It is. It's like definitely massive subconscious fucking messaging, like predictive programming. They even had back then too about
against us or
they
in the
take
show,
like scenarios, like
it's like random. Like I mean,
I'll give an example.
Okay.
It'll help show. There's one where it like tests like the it shows like the possibility how would things go if things were like if society was like this. So for example, one episode is if we could like record our memories.
Oh, I think I know what the show's about now.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it.
And there's another one where it's it's like almost like social media, but like say like me and Austin see each other on the street, I can like rate him, and that's like his credit score. Like no one wants to be associated with like, and you can see everyone's score.
That's some social credit score communist shit.
Yeah, and like
predictive programming, dude.
Say you have one bad moment. Oh, I spilled coffee on you, and then I'm like 0.
Predictive programming.
And then puts down your average, and then no one wants to be associated with you because then that's gonna bring down their own average.
Bruh.
Which goes into how people caring about what other people think about you.
Well, did you see too that fucking because it's on Netflix. It's like a Netflix series. So
you have to watch it.
So every episode's its own story.
Yeah,
own story.
And remember Netflix dropped that man is a pregnant bullshit. They showed like the Asian man in the front being called by another man. How would people actually think that shit's like? Who the fuck buys that shit? You know. Like, I feel like you have to be, like, low brain cells, not buying like, you're fully outside of reality.
Schizophrenic.
Saying that a man can get pregnant?
Well, it's not.
Who the fuck thinks that's even possible?
It wasn't originally.
That's literally like saying pigs can fly.
But it wasn't originally.
And then making people believe it.
They're trying to warp the truth.
Isn't that the same shit, though?
Yeah.
Isn't that literally like saying fucking pigs can fly?
That's like fucking dressing up a bird as a pig and then saying, look. The bird,
dude,
the pig is flying.
Literally.
But if you think about it, it's marketing.
Yeah.
It's marketing, though. They're trying to get people to watch it. So the way that they advertise
Well, marketing for their fucking agenda.
Yeah, for their agenda.
I can say that, but I don't know about why would that shit get clicks? And if that was, I mean, what ended up happening, too, is that when they dropped that bullshit, like when they released that, whatever the fuck it was, the man being pregnant and showed him coddling and shit like that. Yeah. Fucking retarded. Was that... Shit's ridiculous, dude. Their stock plummeted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people don't fucking fuck with that shit. And what I can say too is that I've even like just experiencing, like for example, yesterday I ended up meeting this group of guys, and I already know how it goes. It turns into an Alex Jones conversation quite quickly. And yeah, fucking the frogs are gay. Anyways, do you know that?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Do you know about that?
Frogs are gay.
Yeah, that's one thing that's kind of like when everybody knows about him being like crazy or whatever, you know? Anyways.
That's what he's known for.
Yeah. I know that a lot of people see beyond the bullshit. However, there's also a lot of people who buy into it. You know, like I met this guy at Lolita's and he came down from LA and we just like hung out. Like I met him in the line and like I was eating and he was waiting for his food. So I told him sit down, let's talk. And he was like, he was saying that what he was saying about Alex Jones was that he was like, yeah, Alex Jones is like fucking crazy. Like that guy's a lunatic. And I'm like, well,
some people just hear something about someone and then just, that's how it is.
Exactly.
Like people do that with Russ all the time.
Yes, dude. Yeah, don't get me started on that shit, dude.
I remember.
I'll defend Russ.
Dude, I remember like back in high school, I was always hyped about Russ. And this is how I've always been, but like about my own mind.
Yeah.
But I was always talking good about Russ, and then fucking everybody was hating on him because there was a hate train. Yeah, bro, you listen to his fucking lyrics. He's talking about like higher self type shit.
Yeah,
you know. Like being the best version of who you can.
Yeah.
You get to see his come up through his music, you know, because
Yeah.
he comes from nothing too.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't
Being
like
in the basement.
I don't like confrontation, but if someone's talking smack about Russ, I'm gonna say something. Yeah.
Flip the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why too it's important to have your own mindset, you know, in your own mind. But anyways, going back to what we were talking about was that I know that a lot more people are aware of like these agendas that they're trying to push onto the population. And I think too, what I actually think that there's a big majority of people who don't buy into the bullshit. And I think that what it is that they've pushed it so much into the media. And when I say media, we can think of anywhere where you can consume some kind of content, right? Like YouTube, Google, Twitter, whatever the case may be. All these platforms, they're called what is it called?
What?
Like where all these social media like hive is at.
Oh, Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley. So all these Silicon Valley platforms are all pushing this ideology of like men being pregnant. Number one, why would they do that? Why would they go so hard and push that agenda? Oh, and another thing too, I just seen today, PayPal actually just said.
I seen that too.
Patrick
That
David's?
shit's ridiculous.
Yeah. So PayPal, maybe you don't know this, but PayPal actually recently just stated today of October 8th, 2022, was saying that they're gonna start fining people $2,500 for misinformation.
So if you're a user on their platform, right, and then they catch you
PayPal?
spreading misinformation, then they can fine you $2,500. And
So
who is the one that deciphers?
Exactly.
What misinformation is?
And tell them,
that
Austin.
men can't get pregnant, or if I were to say men can't get pregnant, and they say that's misinformation, because that's up to them and their board, whoever's their board of the misinformation people, and they
That's
say
really
that
scary.
men can't get. Look at this fucking scientific fact that men can get pregnant. Some fucking bought out bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Yeah.
And not only that too, but like Austin said, it's their own group that's the judges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But PayPal has.
I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
probably some elite shit going on.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I'm about
I
to
was
get
like,
sniped
who
or
uses
something, but-
PayPal for right now?
Some JFK shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to manifest that shit.
Fuck
no.
Fuck.
But yeah, it's just fucking
No
crazy. dude.
convertibles.
It's like what is it? There's that book we actually read. You weren't with me in 11th grade. You're in a different class. But George Soros, or not George Soros, fuck that guy too. George Orwell or something. Yeah.
I'm still thinking about it too.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. What's that? It's like 1973 or 1979. Do you know what I'm talking about? That book?
Mm-mm.
It's like a book about how there's Big Brother.
Oh.
And it's like everything you do is monitored. It's essentially like what's and there was
Is it a fiction or nonfiction?
nonfiction.
Oh.
But the guy was essentially saying about what the fuck is gonna happen. And this was written 1984. That's what it's called.
So why did you how did you end up seeing that in high school?
Because my teacher Max, he actually, which I realized after about the book and how he taught us, I was like, bruh, Max was a homie. Yeah, and so we had to read that book and we did Socratic seminars and stuff like that.
Cool.
And then too, my project in that year was media bias.
Oh, is that why you came up with those stickers?
Yes, with that sticker with the have you seen that? The stencil I made in 11th grade.
I don't
it's like a guy sitting down in a chair and he's wearing a mechanic suit and it says Joe. And then
Joe.
There's like a guy in a suit with and his head is a TV. And it says news, and he's going like this, like with remember Plankton, the SpongeBob episode where he's like on
In
SpongeBob's brain, just like that.
Yeah.
With the average Joe's on the average Joe's head, on the Joe's head. So essentially,
It's
the
controlling.
the average Joe.
Yeah,
So like
that's
the average
cool.
people, yeah.
I like that.
And then what I
Yeah.
did too was that I went and
Should bring those stickers back.
I know.
Oh, we still got them.
I have
Oh,
a stack.
really?
I actually brought them.
Should I remake it too? Shit, if anything, but nonetheless,
RTF.
we can probably sell on like a RTF website.
No, we
That's
could.
some real shit.
Yeah.
Like shit. Like shit.
Send us 10 subscribers and we'll send you a free
Yeah.
little package.
Free
That
little
could be our own
sticker.
affiliate. But yeah, I remember I went to there was like a not news store, but a news station next to SDSU. It was like ABC or some shit. I don't remember, but
CBS.
something, maybe CBS. Maybe it was
KPBS.
KPBS. And I went there and I interviewed a couple of their journalists, and I had like a list of questions like, how do you guys get your information? Do you guys have any kind of bias? And it's so funny about my naive self at that time in regards to this topic, that these guys are saying, yeah, we're not biased, you know?
Of course not.
Yeah, pretty much. But I like took their word for it, you know?
What?
They're 100% fucking
You said,
biased.
wow,
Fuck yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
great. Yeah.
But it was cool though that teacher did that. Not only did we read that book, but we're also like, for example, my other friend Luis, shout out to him. He had his stencil was like these kids in a prison, these kids in a prison. And what the actual stencil was that it's like a barcode, and then in the barcodes represented the bar cell, like the cell bars, and there was little kids, and his thing was like child trafficking that's going on like in America, which is some real shit, like the Hollywood shit.
Yeah, soliciting too, like a barcode too. You know what I mean?
All that, So it was pretty dope.
Yeah, I like that. I love art like that.
There was a documentary. Oh, man, I really. What do you think? Say it. Yeah, I mean. I kind of want to stay. I want to stay alive.
Are you talking about Euro?
I'd like to stay alive.
Oh, that one too, but no.
Okay.
Shout out to the
that's
goat.
why I said
no, just kidding.
That one is
Big H. But
yeah, Big H.
No, about the other one, the fall of the sea.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure everybody knows about that.
No, dude.
Really?
Do you know about this?
No.
This is a hypothetical. I don't know if this thing actually exists. It could not. I'm not too sure. I'm not saying
Let's
it does.
just say right now it doesn't.
Let's just say that there's this hypothetical documentary called The Fall of Cabal. Have you heard of it before?
No.
Okay, see? She hasn't heard of
I
it.
thought so. But I guess it's really in the self-development world that everybody in the self-development world maybe has more likely seen it than not.
Like deep into
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Fall of Cabal, of course.
Like the hypothetical. I don't know if it actually exists.
Yeah, the
8
sex
series.
Rings.
Yeah.
The sex rings. The
oh
fucking,
yeah, you told me about all
Remember
that.
Pizzagate too?
people from
Yes.
some famous Brazilian pastor was on Oprah. Then he was found to be tied with deep sex rings. You know what I mean? And he was on Oprah. Weird shit.
Yeah.
So is that the right documentary you're talking about?
I think
it
so.
is.
I've maybe heard about it.
It's
not too sure.
The ZQ shit.
Oh
right?
yeah. Then they tied it in with QAnon.
And they try to
Yeah, that's why I know too that I think that me personally, I think that QAnon was like another. We talked about this before, but QAnon, in my opinion, was this way of them trying to tie in real shit, like real wicked Hollywood shit, with conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
So I think that these people,
PSYOP.
A psyop, that's what it's called, a psyop. I personally think that QAnon is a fucking psyop.
I do too.
Because remember too when Trump was gonna get elected again.
Yeah.
Remember that?
He's gonna come and he's gonna save the world.
Yeah.
And
Do you remember too?
Biden's gonna get arrested on stage.
Do you remember?
That's what they were saying.
Remember
Really?
too though that they were saying like there was something that was going on where it was like this underground vibe type of feeling where there was like, oh, Trump's gonna get elected. Remember we were on the way back from Las Vegas
that's what
or
I'm talking
Utah?
about. That's what I'm talking about. Where they said that right on his what is it? What does it say when you get inaugurated? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying.
Remember there was some shit too about like a
Sworn
jet
in?
or something like that. Remember?
Well, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but when you get sworn in,
Yeah.
they were saying that when that ceremony that they swear him in, that he's gonna get arrested and that somebody's gonna come out the bushes and call everybody out. You know what I mean? And that remember that Iraq, they shut down all of their lights.
Oh yeah.
A documentary.
That's what I remember.
Because Trump was secretly coming in or
Yeah,
some bullshit.
Wait, what are
dude.
you guys talking about?
We're talking about
this
the fall of
QAnon
Cabal
bullshit.
and QAnon.
The hypothetical. I don't know if it actually exists.
So
I heard of it through the grapevine.
I'm confused. So there's a documentary that was saying all
hypothetical.
this stuff was gonna happen.
Hypothetical.
So
No,
there's
no, no.
there's a documentary.
There's two differences. So there's this. I don't know if it exists. Once again, this
Okay.
hypothetical documentary that could not exist. Not too sure, but it's called The Fall of something Cabal. Maybe I'm not too sure. But nonetheless, what happens is that they talk. It's like an 8 series or 10 series documentary, and it's like an hour each part, and or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really fucking long, you know. And they actually took it off of YouTube, I believe. On top of that, I hypothetically took it off of YouTube. Nonetheless, it described in this hypothetical documentary about how there's a lot of like sex trafficking going on with people in politics as well as people in Hollywood. And there
Remember
was
like Justin Bieber's music video?
Yeah, that weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
and
was like insinuating that.
Yeah.
I could totally see that because they desensitize you with that shit.
But they were saying sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're
but
good.
that Justin Bieber was trying to like show people.
I'm sure because I think that.
Well, remember he
these
became
people
Christian, like super Christian. He's probably too. Hypothetically, we can throw a theory out there that since he's like balls deep in all the bullshit and
But
pedophilia
since he was
and
a
shit,
kid.
since a kid, he's probably maybe coming to like trying to like separate himself, kind of like
Well,
that.
I see it. I always assumed it was probably like he saw it from the inside and now he's trying to speak against it because
Yeah.
he was a kid, so he probably got taken advantage of as a kid.
I could see that.
Because
I
have
could
you
see
seen
that.
the music video?
I could
I
see
don't.
that too.
But the thing is though is that I don't claim him as innocent though.
No.
I don't fucking claim him as innocent.
Well,
I know
at least we gotta like we're not gonna just accept that he's innocent.
Yeah.
Off the rip.
Yeah, like he's kind of. I mean, we could say that maybe he's flipped the. Was it flipped the rock
But he's
or
been
turned the
in it
rock on
since
the
he
other
was a
side?
kid.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though is that if you're involved in some kind of music video where they're talking about,
it's like he's showing the people though. Like it's almost like he's trying to
like wake people up?
put light onto
Okay.
the situation.
Okay.
Like all like the little meaning. Like it's his
Okay.
music video. So
here's the thing though. I mean, I don't know the background behind that, but who's the one who produced that? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
because
is this guy the one? Just because he's a singer in it doesn't mean that he produced that and thought of that idea.
but he probably did.
but we got to think about
don't
it though.
know.
Who is he signed to? 'Cause
Exactly,
if he's
dude.
signed to people that are affiliated
I
with
smell bullshit.
with
oh no.
higher echelon bullshit,
But
aka elitist, essentially.
but have you seen the music video? 'Cause
No,
No, but
it's so,
I
still
haven't.
though.
it's so.
I can't. I haven't seen it, so I can't say with absolute confidence. But I'm a little suspicious.
Yeah,
is
and
all I
things
gotta
that are
say.
blatant
Maybe it's
or
like
out
that-
in public,
Yeah.
always got to be questioned with
Suspicious.
a grain
Maybe
of
it's
salt.
that karmic relief we talked about
Could
on
be.
episode 1.
Most
or
It
definitely.
could be for sure. Well, and that's kind of like what they do is that they put shit in front of you.
Yeah,
you know?
like remember we were saying about what Lisa was saying
Movies.
earlier.
What?
What's her name? Big.
Oh, Lizzo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like, what's going on? What? Oh, I wanted to finish explain this to you. So,
Okay.
so essentially, there was like in that hypothetical documentary. Once again, they tied in like Hollywood, and maybe they mentioned Epstein's Island on there too, which actually ended up becoming fucking
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
And Alex Jones was the one who was talking about that shit. Now, I'm not saying what he fucking says is true. Alex Jones, I'm sure there's a bunch of shit that he says that is fucking out there that
Yeah.
isn't true.
Yeah.
That we could say that actually maybe could be in quotes conspiracy hypothetically. Number one, let me just say this real quick too about him is that I think it's important to have people like him because we need somebody
Fuck
else
yeah.
who's polarized on that end too.
Most definitely.
Just like how there is some fucking lefty who was talking about how men can become pregnant and how we should give some hormone fucking bullshit to a little 5-year-old
Mhm.
for them to change their sex and never go through puberty. We should have somebody like Alex Jones on the other side
Most
to balance out the scales. I'm not saying either or are correct. I definitely don't agree with the other fucking the hormonal shit. 1000% don't, and
You
I
don't?
don't know who
Just
would.
kidding.
But just as we're allowing that polarized side, we should allow the other polarized side. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you should have the freedom of speech and say what you want, and have
Real
the freedom
talk.
of thinking of what you want to fucking
Real
think.
talk.
So
Yeah.
that
Period.
means both on both sides. So I don't agree with everything that he fucking does, but he has some fucking points, and one of them was talking about
yeah.
the Epstein Island before anybody else
Yep.
did, and ended up becoming fucking true.
Yep.
Now, do you remember about the Epstein Island?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of there's this fucking island essentially where they were like literally like
yeah. Yeah.
graping
Yeah.
graping
I know.
like the fruit, or is it a
Gra-
vegetable? It's not a
Grape.
vegetable. Anyways,
I know what you're
underage
talking-
people, horrible,
Yes.
wicked stuff, you
Yeah.
know. And there's people like on the plane, like Bill Gates. Bill Gates was one of them.
Mhm.
And what ended up happening too was that Epstein had a video, had a picture in his like living room of what's his name, Bill Clinton.
Oh yeah.
Bill Clinton.
I
yeah.
feel
Bill
like
Clinton.
going-
Bill Clinton in a dress. He has a
Okay.
picture of Bill Clinton in a dress in his living room. Epstein does. Why would you do that? Are we subconsciously saying? Are we insinuating that he's his bitch? Why would, if that's the case, why is that so? Is there maybe something that possibly, I'm not saying this is the case, is there maybe something that Epstein has on Bill Gates that maybe has recorded or has some evidence of him doing something, and we know what
Like
happened on the
blackmail.
island, like blackmail? Why would he be wearing a dress and then have it up on his living room? Why would you do that for everybody to see? I
Yeah.
mean,
That's
these are
like me
just
telling Austin, like,
hypotheticals.
I caught Austin doing some wicked shit, never would be the case.
Yeah.
But then I tell Austin, hey, I got this shit on you. I'm going to expose, everybody, all your
So you need
RTF
to do
audience.
this?
All your
Yeah.
RTF audience
and
is
you have a
going to see
little.
this.
You have
I'd
a
say
little.
show him.
And he said, please, just don't, please, please. I said, all right, get these panties on and wear this fucking dress.
No, it wasn't an
And
actual pic. It was
painting.
It was a
The
painting.
painting.
Oh.
So what we're saying, so this
But
is
I wouldn't be surprised if that motherfucker sat there while they painted his ass out. You know what I mean?
could see
and
that
made
too.
him.
I
'cause
could see that.
They're
think about
so-
it. The goal is
Dude,
humiliation.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but the thing though is that I think that's part of humiliation, correct? But what I think is that's more of a message, and
Yeah.
I think the message is that hypothetically is that allegedly is that he probably has some blackmail. And what I personally, possibility, not saying this is the case,
Allegedly.
let's just say in a hypothetical fantasy land,
Allegedly.
right? Let's just say I read this in a fiction book, not saying this is true, is that what if there was a way that we can blackmail a bunch of politicians and elite people like celebrities and stuff like that by getting them to do something on tape that would fucking be absolutely
Would
horrible to
end them.
leak, and then that way we can control them with our own agenda. And we can get all these people, they don't even know what's going to go on. We're going to fly them out to this hypothetical island, and we're going to get them to do hypothetical things that are horrible. And what we're gonna do is that we're gonna have some kind of mirror. It
cameras.
looks like a mirror, but it's actually a window.
So it's
And
not
what we're
even
gonna
people
do-
wanting to do that.
It could be both. It could be both. But let's just say hypothetically, right? We get them on. We fucking either drug them up or we start telling them nobody's gonna find out. Don't worry. And hey, there's underage people around, this and that. Quite underage, maybe potentially 6 to 8, hypothetically speaking. Then there's some wicked shit that goes on. Let's get them on camera. Now you're absolutely destroyed. This is horrible. If this were to come out, you probably would die.
Yeah.
You know,
Death
people would probably
row.
like literally chop your head off. You know.
Yeah.
So you need to do what I say, or else I'm gonna release this to everybody, and you're gonna be your life is over. Hypothetically, let's just say that hypothetically was the case.
I just assumed it was like an island where people who wanted to do that stuff went and like.
I think it's a
had-
combination of both.
Dang,
That did,
that's
and then also
crazy.
maybe who didn't. But once they
That's
were in it, they
even
said,
more
"Fuck."
wicked.
Well, and let's say that there's this hypothetical list of people who actually went onto flew onto the plane to the island. This hypothetical list. I don't know if it exists or not.
Remember there like the leaked emails about them talking about a pizza party, like
yeah,
Hillary
Pizzagate.
Clinton.
Yeah, and Obama
And they're
saying,
like-
"Bring in the pizza."
Yeah,
Come
like
on,
super
bruh.
burnt.
I mean, shit. Who knows if it was actually hot dogs and pizza? Could be, could not be. The context was a little unusual, if you ask me.
That's what I'm saying.
Was it some kind of inside joke? I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a lot of questions in these hypothetical scenarios. But yeah, essentially that's how it was with that. That's essentially how it was. And what they did was that they spoke out. So going back to the documentary, hypothetical documentary, was that they said that alleged. I don't know. I mean, fantasy, Twilight. Anyways, was that they attached all these things to QAnon. And at the end of the documentary, they started saying like, what can happen is that Trump can fucking time travel. And what's going to happen is that JFK's son's going to come back to existence and fly through time. And then Trump's going to save the world. That's what I'm saying. It went from like all logic, all facts, facts. And at the end, they randomly tied it with some weird, come on, bruh. Destroyed all the credibility of before. So we could say that what if that was intentional, the PSYOP. They tied all these real things, and then at the end, they tied some bullshit to it. So since that, look how this isn't obviously nobody can fucking time travel. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just kidding.
We know that that's not that's like saying pigs can fly, you know, at this point in time, you know. But nonetheless, that's like saying at the end, after all speaking about all facts at the end, saying, and really we know for a fact pigs can fly. Pigs can fly. So it completely destroys all the credibility of everything said prior. And then then they had these people like with QAnon saying all kinds of random shit. So I personally think that was an entire psyop, that they did that on purpose because they wanted to tie truth with fake shit. You get what I'm saying?
But for what purpose?
Because so that the truth doesn't get. So the truth is number one
but
out
they
there.
want the truth out.
It's
They're
'cause they
putting
can-
the truth out.
It's because they put the
So you
truth
don't-
out slightly,
so-
and then they warp it with the false.
exactly.
So you get confused. Now you don't know what the fuck, because it sprinkles a little bit of truth, a little bit of
So,
bullshit.
but why even put out the truth to begin with if
It's
you're gonna
because
do
it mind
that?
fucks you.
Yes, exactly. So
They
you can't.
want to like they want to go like
they
this?
want to mind fuck
No,
you.
not only partly it's not partly like that too, but yeah, they've done studies on this as well. It creates confusion. The CIA has done shit like this to the actual people in America as well.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, what they do is they do that on purpose, so that way you can't tell the difference between fake and reality. So you can't tell what the fuck is real. And once they get you in that mind state, you're easy. Now I can manipulate you to do whatever you want. I can implant whatever thoughts I want into your mind. So they do that to a mass population. And they've known to do this to other countries. I can't think of the exact statistics right now or the exact countries that they were doing it to, the CIA in America. But I know for a 1,000% actual confirmed fact that they've done it to the American people as well. So now that I understand these things, after I've seen that, I told myself, you know what, this is hypothetically I seen that, was that I told myself that I know that this is some form of fucking psyop at the end of the day. But taking the truth for what it is, because they were providing pretty good evidence in that hypothetical documentary.
You just reminded me of I had seen. Sometimes I think there's like people who are trying to spread truth on TikTok. I know not to believe everything that I see, but there was this girl that was talking about how there's documents from the CIA that talk about manifestation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like all the secrets of like astral projection and like manifestation, but they like warp the words super crazy so that you can like barely read it. Like it's extremely difficult to read.
I wouldn't doubt
But they
that
said
last
they
part.
did that on purpose because they're putting it out there.
They were showing these. I think they're called Watchers. Dad was telling me about it, but apparently like in the 80s or some shit, somewhere around that time area.
Yeah,
Don't quote
70s,
me.
80s.
Don't quote me on the time specifically. But apparently that they were able to get people to tap into the unified field of intelligence and be able to spy on Russian people.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So they can
What?
literally see
Well,
what
what
they're
is
doing.
astral projecting?
Astral projecting.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
So
Yeah.
was it proven? It's proven. There's actual proven CIA documents. So government official documents
that have been
say
recently released.
that were top secret for a long time. So
Yeah.
the information was, what is it called, redacted? Right?
I'm not sure.
Is it
I think so.
when it's covered up? Is it redacted? I
I'm not
believe.
sure.
I think
believe when it's
redacted is when it's put back. I don't know.
made
Actually,
public.
no.
I think
But-
when it's made public is something else.
But what
nonetheless.
they seen was that not only that, but you can heal your body. You know.
Yeah, through like Joe
Joe
Dispenza.
Dispenza.
Yeah, but I'm saying the CIA was saying this in the 80s or the 70s before Joe Dispenza was
Yeah.
popular. You know
That
what I
means
mean?
there was always a truth to
There's
it.
always truth,
Exactly.
and they always known this shit.
And
The government.
and that's why, I mean, what we can say too is that when people begin to tell the truth to the truth to the people, is that they have a lot of people go against them, like these puppets that they have, like other celebrities. All right, what you're gonna do, bro, Mr. Popular, is that you're gonna go in and
Dang.
you're gonna talk mad shit about this guy.
Yep.
Or let's just think about a news anchor.
Yep.
We're on a big we have a really big news channel.
What? This is-
We're gonna interview this guy, and your job, Mr. Anchorman, is to
Yeah.
fucking shit on this guy as much as possible,
Yeah.
and make him look as fucking dumb.
Destroy his credibility.
Destroy his credibility.
Yeah, that's what you reminded me when 2020 was happening and all of like the when Trump was going against Joe Biden and like
Mhm.
all of like the voter fraud.
Yeah.
I remember Liza Koshy.
Oh yeah, puppet.
I had like I think I was
Who's that?
Liza,
Some
she was
YouTube.
huge YouTuber.
Some
Like
YouTube.
she got so big, I think she like fell out because she was too much.
Tripping.
But she was doing like ads for Joe Biden, like trying to get people to vote for Joe Biden. So
What a great
I
woman.
got hairy legs.
wait.
Remember that?
So
The
she
kids play with my hairy
Stop,
legs in the pool.
stop.
Yeah,
So
literally.
she
Literally.
posted something like talking like I don't know. She was interviewing Joe Biden. She put it on her thing, right, on her Instagram, and everyone was like basically saying "fuck Joe Biden"
I
in the
remember that.
comments.
I remember
And
that.
I was like,
FJB.
damn, this is crazy because to me, what it was like almost like shocking me because to me, what it seemed like on media was that everyone was like, Joe Biden,
Yeah.
no one Trump, no Trump, no Trump.
Yep.
So I was shocked to see like people my age speaking against what was happening.
Yeah.
And then I screen recorded it because I was like, I don't know, like this is weird. So I screen recorded it. And like, I don't know if it was like minutes later or what, but I checked again and gone, reposted. And now all of a sudden there was a hella comments of like verified people like, yeah, Liza,
Nice.
yes. And I was like, damn, this
That's
is
what I'm
crazy.
saying. They're controlling the thoughts of people.
And that's why, despite what she was, the politics behind what she was posting, I lost all respect for her because that was manipulation to me.
Yep.
That
It
was
is,
censorship to me.
It is.
Real
So
talk.
I lost all respect for her, and ever since then,
Yep.
I never saw her
She's
the
a
same.
puppet.
Yeah.
Whether she's doing that for Trump, Biden,
Anything. It was
Biden,
just hiding
Bill.
what people think.
Yep.
Yeah, and like manipulating
manipulating
Mhm.
people. Exactly.
It like blew my mind because
Yep.
like here you see someone and like you
Welcome
like
to the Matrix.
yeah, it was crazy. And I literally was like, and I recorded it too. And I was like, bro, I got proof. I
Yeah.
have proof.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, anybody too who can say that, anybody who says Joe Biden is an ept president, is in
Inept.
fucking denial.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is in denial.
Yeah.
Has dementia themselves.
Yeah. I mean, but this goes back to them. I mean, the idea behind this too is that they're controlling the thoughts of the people.
Yeah,
And that's their
exactly.
and why would they do that? Why?
Yeah.
and that's the thing is that if we can see the manipulation towards what they want us to think, why do they want us to think that way? You know,
Yeah.
what's going on? What's
I
the overall end fucking
Think about
goal?
it too. I mean, they've controlled us all the way to the point now where we accept a senile president
Yeah.
representing
Insane. In
our
America.
country.
In America.
But everyone's like bitches and jokes about it, but no one's pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Nobody stands up.
no one's standing up together. You
Yeah.
know, like this is a bunch of bullshit.
Well, that's why too they silence people who fucking talk out against us. That's why,
Misinformation.
that's why-
2,500.
that's why I talk about too.
crazy.
Like, I mean, that's why I mean, fuck. I don't know what in regards to what can cancel culture or anything like that.
Yeah.
To me, I don't give a fuck because I know that I'm speaking my truth at the end of the day. But what I'm saying is that it's definitely possible that these topics can get canceled in
Yeah.
regards to like YouTube coming out. Fuck what people think, you know, in
Yeah.
regards to like trying to cancel us. People can talk shit all they want.
It's just the
Below
same
the
thing
comments
Andrew
talking
said,
shit.
though. People, they don't give a fuck because you have a low audience. But as soon as you have X amount of millions,
Yeah.
everything you say
Once
they
you
have
have
an
real
issue
big
with.
big real influence, which is what's in the podcast is gonna get to, you know. But But when they see that and they see that, oh, somebody's speaking out against the agenda of what we want people to believe, then we're going to silence this guy. So what they do is they own all these platforms. So they own these people who own all these platforms. And
Celebrities.
they say, that's why, too, with fucking Andrew Tate as well, is that whatever I fucking think that he speaks real facts. But nonetheless, about literally one weekend, all like Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. So Facebook, Instagram is owned by the same people. Right. YouTube, though, they're owned by different people besides Facebook, Meta, and they all canceled his ass in one weekend. Yeah. And on top of that, he had like no Uber, no Airbnb.
They took that away from him.
Yeah. And these are all separate people. So how are you gonna tell me that there's not somebody above that controlling all that shit?
Uber and Airbnb too.
Yep. He had like I think
they took away his sponsorship, or they said that he can't use the app.
No, we're not talking about sponsorship.
Banned him from the platform.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unaffiliated. What the fuck was going on with YouTube and whatever the fuck? All over one weekend. Mm-hmm. Why would they do that?
Ask Alyssa.
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that? You think?
We're trying to silence him.
Exactly. And that's when he says too. He's like, I think I just think of shout out to Knoxville. This is probably why. But I think of a cockroach analogy. Like you just you fucking nuke the real. You just nuke a fucking town and only the cockroaches survive. Yeah. You know, so you can do whatever you. It's a bad analogy for Andrew Tate because he speaks facts, you know. Yeah. But anyways, nonetheless, somebody who survives.
Shout out to the top G.
And now, come on, bro. But nonetheless, you know, I have massive respect for him. No matter what anybody says about him, you know, I have massive respect for what he's doing, and I would say is a big inspiration for people like me, people like what we're doing, you know, who are speaking the truth. Because and once again, it goes back to the polarizing thing, but people can even draw parallels to what we say and what he said too, because there's a lot of things that he says that are factual, you know? Definitely. And whether it's him saying it or fucking Jimmy from across the street, it doesn't fucking matter. Somebody actually speaking truth, you know? So I think it's really important for us to have this platform too, to where we can come out and say what the fuck we think. Right. Just like anybody else fucking can, you know?
But the good thing too, though, about like this time of life, this time of era, whatever you want to call it, is that we have an ability to speak on a platform.
Yeah, it's super
for relatively cheap. Obviously, this wasn't cheap. Yeah. But the thing is that we don't need
a huge studio,
$500,000 production company.
Yeah,
you know,
employees.
Yeah. Someone has to sign you. You have to audition.
And then you can't be a certain way. You can speak about only this, that, and that, and this. You know?
You can't talk about hypothetical documentaries.
You start veering from the agenda path. They start canceling your ass and bring another clown.
Yep. Yeah. Literally, just like that. Yeah. What was that thing that you were gonna talk about? About fat.
Well, I was just big. No, we were just talking about. I was having a conversation earlier about how Kanye West was bringing up how I think this just released that he was having an interview talking about how Lizzo, like they're basically trying to like promote
being fat.
Yeah, basically.
Eating, yeah.
Like they want to promote
McDonald's.
Yeah, they want to. They basically are like pushing for that, but we're like the question is. Why?
Yeah, and they have like not to cut you off, but they have like recently Jordan. You know this guy named Jordan Peterson?
No.
He's a goat. You should look him up. Nonetheless, I know
you
a lot
probably
of people.
Do.
Yeah, you probably do.
I'm not good with names.
He's a professor, old white professor.
Maybe I've seen.
He speaks about the truth.
Yeah, he's like a philosopher kind of.
Yeah. He said something against the Second Amendment. Remember that though? And I was like, the fuck, dude. Anyways, digress. Nonetheless, he
can't agree with everything. That's true.
Yeah, exactly. Which I respect.
Talked about that before,
I respect.
Too.
You know. And he comes from Canada, so he doesn't know anything about fucking firearms anyways. But anyways.
For somebody from Canada, it's pretty good. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, you know. But nonetheless, I mean, he's highly intellectual too, so you think, come on, use some.
Yeah, come on,
But
man.
once again, we digress.
We just have to show him what's up with the shotgun.
Yeah, pull up.
I like
Jordan Peterson, pull up.
I like it.
You know? We'll probably interview him sometime. But nonetheless,
we will.
As I was saying, was that... Yeah, what was I saying about her being fat?
You were saying, about Kanye West was talking about big.
No, I was saying something, though. No. Come on, man.
You didn't get it out yet.
Well, nonetheless.
I can't help you.
Oh, I remember. No, Jordan Peterson. So what happened was that so there was this like this magazine. It's like a beauty magazine. Or some kind of like sports. Oh, it was a sports magazine. And they put some fat bitch on the front page.
Big.
And why would you do that in a sports fucking fitness magazine? Putting some fat bitch.
Why do you have to say fat bitch?
I mean, it's just the fucking truth. I just say bitching regardless of fucking. It's just a derogatory way of being fucking ridiculous. You get what I'm saying? elegant woman that was
This-
overweight,
this
maybe by
slightly-
about
abundant in
I would
pounds.
say potentially obese. If we're to put her on a scale, like it's just she's just
This
anyways.
woman who's abundant in weight.
Yeah. She eats
That
she
doesn't
eats in
get more
abundance.
politically correct.
She eats in abundance.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he actually said like he fucking put a screenshot and put it on his Twitter, like talking like out against it. Like why is this sport magazine promoting a fat woman on the front? You know, and he's like, I don't think she's beautiful because I think it said something like about beauty or some bullshit. And he had said that fat's not beauty or something. I'm massively paraphrasing, so don't quote me here, but. Nonetheless, he talked out against it, and a bunch of people were talking shit.
Well, that's the thing.
Dude?
I think beautiful and healthy are two different things.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, there's definitely no beauty in being fat. I'll tell you that.
That is not what I was saying.
Wait, put it this way, Alyssa.
It's the truth.
When you're fat, what does that represent?
Well, and that I do. Okay.
Besides you liking food.
Okay.
The way you react, that's what I'm laughing.
Because that's not what my point was.
No, that's my point.
I think
That's my
that
fucking
people
point.
can be beautiful no matter what weight you are,
All
but
right,
I'm
but
not
let's be
going to
real.
say it's healthy.
Let's be real.
I'm not going to say it's
If you're 400
healthy.
pounds, am I gonna tell you you're fucking beautiful?
They
no.
can't, but
I'm
they
gonna
can
say
be a
you're
beautiful
fat.
person.
What is
And
beauty?
on
What
the
is
inside.
beauty though? What
On the
is
inside.
beauty?
There's inner and outer beauty. And
Are
I
we
think,
talking about physical? Or are we talking about the beauty
there's
of
a
a
difference.
personality? Or
I
are we
think-
talking about?
I think it's good to help people feel beautiful. I think we have so many things, especially
Let's
women.
keep this. Let's keep this on the physical aspect, not personality.
I'm talking physical. I think that there's so many things against, especially women, of like all these standards that we have to hold, and what we
Men
look
too.
like. Yes, men too, but I feel like women is more extreme.
That's
about
your
how we
opinion,
have
but
to
go
live.
ahead.
Just let her explain. I can
ahead.
see what she's saying.
It is. It is. I mean, all the magazines are all skinny women. Guys don't have to like. All the actors that are in movies are beautiful women, and then fat, ugly guys. Like, it's just there's a lot of standards that women have to uphold. So, I think that it's good to help people feel beautiful, but I'm not gonna say you're healthy if you're overweight. I'm not. That's what the thing is. I think people are trying to say that it's healthy, but it's
Yeah.
not at the end of the day.
One thing I'll say real
But
quick.
you can still be beautiful and not be skinny.
Yeah, of course. But what about being obese and being
Yes.
beautiful?
I mean,
When you're 300 pounds, you're gonna tell me you're beautiful. I'm gonna tell you no.
We're
The real
talking
answer.
but
physically.
that
We're
I mean, at
talking
the end of the
physically.
day, that's all opinion.
It's subjective,
Beauty
correct?
is in
But
the eye of the
we can't
beholder.
we can't create things around the exception to the rule. Yeah, somebody can say a fucking 800-pound motherfucker is beautiful, sure, but we know that 99.9% of people are gonna say that's not.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing beautiful
But
about
it doesn't-
being overweight.
but
That's fuck.
Yeah, I
You
guess.
know why? Because it's a reflection of the shitty habits that you have, and you
No,
have
for
no
sure.
discipline.
For
So
sure.
how is that fucking beautiful? Not saying to you.
Exactly.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying to you. I'm just
No, I
saying
know.
To
in
whoever
general.
the
You know,
fuck.
to whoever the fuck.
Yeah,
you know
and
what
I
mean?
think of course it sends a subconscious message to like the viewer of that person, like about, because I do believe that you're like how you present yourself is a reflection of your mind.
Most definitely.
Um,
So put it this way. Let's say this guy is super fat. Are we gonna tell him he's beautiful so he stays in his
Yeah,
skin?
dude, you're good, bro.
That's like that's
And this
Yeah.
and this guy
It's
too
hindering
probably has
him.
like suicidal thoughts and
fuck
shit.
yeah.
You know,
he's,
super.
he's rolling
But-
400 plus.
Yeah.
but it's also about how you go about the way of, like motivating people, because I don't think like shaming people.
Okay,
it
I agree
only
with
makes
that,
it
Okay,
but,
worse.
there's-
making delusion is
Yes.
not doesn't
No,
help
I-
either.
And there's
I know
a
that.
difference between shaming somebody but being real as fuck. There's a big
Yeah,
difference.
Most definitely.
I'm not gonna say you're a fucking piece of shit, you
Yeah.
dumb
Fat
fuck.
fuck.
Yeah, motherfucker. You're never gonna none of that.
You want this Big Mac?
I'm saying, bro, you're overweight, and I can even
Yeah.
if I'm being even more real, which I am, I'm gonna say you're fucking fat.
Ask David Goggins.
Yeah.
His opinion about that.
Yeah, that's what David Goggins has that story about that too.
I mean, what type of what do you think is going to provoke him? It's probably going to provoke him to want to, run.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Being
just
real.
being
Versus
a-
saying you're
But versus
beautiful,
being
Bill.
I know. And the
You
thing
know?
is, it's because you guys are you're very more logic based. To me, when I see somebody that's like,
Big.
I have
Yeah.
a question. For
wait,
you after
can
that.
I finish my
Yeah,
thought?
I have
Okay.
a question after you.
When I see someone that to me, like I'm like, oh, like
Mm.
to me it makes me think of like what they've been through. Like I'm a very empathetic person.
You care
Get
for the
that.
guy.
So I'm not looking like, oh, I mean, at first you'd be like, dang,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she. But then like at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I wonder what that person went through. I wonder why it is that like
Yeah.
why I got to
I
that point.
understand.
I'm sure that they don't like that doesn't make them feel good to walk around like
I
that.
understand.
So I'm not like you know, I quickly go from like the initial reaction to being like, it makes me feel like almost not sad. I'm not like, I don't pity them, but just makes me wonder, you know, like I wonder what they went through. I wonder maybe they just weren't taught good eating habits when they were a kid, you know, like.
All you're highlighting is that you don't have a critical aspect in your mind about them when you see them, you know?
Yeah, so like to
you
me,
just feel for them.
It's not even about, I'm not even thinking about if they're beautiful. I'm just thinking, I wonder what they went through to like.
But if they were beautiful, you probably wouldn't be thinking what they went through for their beauty. Do you get what I'm saying?
What I can say is this too, is that I get where you're coming from. Because that's what happened with me when I was on Knoxville. I gained hella weight. I got fucking fat. And
I've gotten fat.
I didn't have anybody around to tell me I got fat as fuck. You know, I would be like, fuck, it's true. I probably would be like, I'd go back and maybe eat Chick-fil-A one more time and then call it quits. But no, I agree. When I see somebody else who gained weight really quickly, I'm like, I wonder what they're going through, because I was there. I understand. I totally get it.
It's a reflection.
But let me tell you that, because at the end of the day, what you're saying is that you care for them, right? So you see them going through something, and you don't want to be an asshole, because if you're an asshole, it may insinuate that you don't care, right?
Right.
But what about this? What about this frame is that wouldn't we agree that we care for them? That's where it's coming from.
Yeah, and I think that's
wait. We care for them, correct? So wouldn't we say by allowing them to continuously have bad habits that not only are not healthy for them, but also not healthy for them mentally?
Yeah.
Wouldn't we say that it's actually the contrary? By us not saying anything to them, we actually aren't caring for them. So since we do care for them and we want we have their best interest at heart, wouldn't it be a good idea to be straight up and say, hey man, however you want to say it?
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
And you know,
with
obviously
that.
I'm saying to somebody, you're fat, but obviously I'm gonna tailor it to the correct way. If this
and that's what I said, is it's all about how you say it. I agree that it takes a very, very brave person to tell somebody that, but at the end of the day, if you're doing it because you care about someone, then yes, like I do agree that is something that should be done.
The main basis though is that, are they beautiful though? Are they beautiful? Like obviously we all are on the same page when it comes to this, because of course, even if we seen a fat guy, we're not going to be a dick about it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to tell him in the most efficient way, because our goal isn't to shame him in any type of way. It's to uplift, if anything. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to sit here at all, no matter how I tell him, nice, mean, it's not beautiful, period. You know what I mean? Coming back to the main topic is putting her up on the beauty magazine or whatever the heck it may be. Why that could be an issue. Because we're really promoting overweight, bad habits,
unhealthy habits,
lack of self-discipline as beauty.
But that's the thing.
Which leads to turmoil in that individual.
Most definitely. Because it's not
more
true. It's
turmoil.
Contradicting.
Yeah. More turmoil leads to more easily controlled people. So it's just not a hypothetical ideology.
See, and that's the thing. I don't think I'll ever agree that because I just think fat people can be beautiful. I'm never going to say that fat people aren't beautiful because they're fat.
We can say that, right? We can say fat people are beautiful. However, it's not a good idea to promote being fat.
What I'm saying. And that's the thing, kind of like what we talked about in the last podcast I was in, is the media's taking advantage of people. They're pushing it for a different reason than to uplift. They're not pushing it to uplift people. They're pushing it to hinder people.
Then they get all these people on that power trend of, oh yeah, it's okay to be fat.
That's what I'm saying. And they're not doing it to make people better. They're doing it so that it's more like
a way to manipulate.
Yeah, and so that, because when if we're not at our healthiest, then what does that say about us as a people?
Yeah.
So I think they're doing it for the wrong reasons. So like it's the people versus the media and all of them and what.
But they don't realize that that's the true enemy. It's not people.
Yeah.
It's not people saying that it's not good to be fat. They make the media makes it as though that the people who are going against the agenda are the bad people, but the people who are supporting the agenda don't realize that the actual enemy is the one propping up the agenda
and hindering them.
And that's why independent thought's so important. Doesn't matter what side, whatever it's politics or if there's somebody that you really appreciate or like and they say something, it's so important for you to have your own frame of mind.
For sure, yeah.
Like I'll give you an example. There was probably a point in time that you could never convince me that Trump was a bad person. Then I ended up learning information, more and more information. I had to be true to who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. Look at the facts. Like he supported he was #1 salesman in the fucking jab. He had fucking people. He like had millions of dollars invested into that one of the pharmaceutical companies that were pushing the vaccine.
Real quick, explain why that's bad. Somebody might not have that connection.
Okay, so think about this, right? Let's just say I have a fucking product and I'm trying to make money, right? I invest into a company and I buy stocks into it. So if that company makes more profit and they have a higher income, then my stock goes up. The money that I've invested goes up.
So you're going to use your political influence.
Exactly.
To,
so
to
I'm going to
use
go
your
in
personal
office.
interest.
What we're going to do is we're going to mandate this shit. And what we're going to do is that when we mandate it, I'm going to buy the stock before, and then we're going to mandate it, and then we're going to push out. Since it's mandated, now the government, we're going to spend taxpayer money, which they see as essentially fucking free money, and we're going to give it to the fucking pharmaceutical companies. Now I have that stock in that company. I push the agenda. It gets passed through. Now it's mandated.
Yeah.
Now all this demand for vaccines come out. Now, hey, in turn, the fucking pharmaceutical companies get a profit.
That's like
and
me
my stock goes up.
That's like me having a product. You're the president. You invest into my product with a lot of stock, and then you make it a law, or you go and you promote it to the public.
You have to use
you
your
need
product.
to buy this product. You need to buy this product.
And
so you already know he already
He's
invested
benefiting.
mass. Yeah, mass.
He's doing it because he benefits from it.
What I can say, though, is that here's another caveat I can say to that, is that I'm not saying that he was the one that vaccines were mandated. He's part of it for sure.
Right.
He's part, and I think that is part of the entire thing. But what I can say is that hypothetically, what if that at that point, what if that was already the agenda to begin with? He found out, so he just invested into it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then became a fucking salesman too.
He's a businessman.
You know, because he's a businessman too. So that's what I mean. And the
it's still not right.
The ideology behind that too.
Well, that's what Austin's saying, is that there was a point in time where nobody could tell him anything negative about Trump. 'Cause he'd full defense.
Yeah.
Plus, you also have to think about who you were at the time versus now, like critical.
But still, though, he was the same person.
No, I know
That's
you.
why I
It's just
went against the agenda.
He just didn't have enough information to really know the truth of the situation, right?
It hadn't came out yet.
Hadn't came out yet.
And
I just feel like we can never truly idolize anybody. But that's just something that
I think we can have influences, but I agree with you. I think, especially when it comes down to politics, I personally think that the president maybe doesn't have as much power as it seems to be.
Yeah.
And I think that what I personally think is that
They're just the face.
Kind of, and I think that odds are that they're probably picked for the most part. At least to some degree. I think though Trump is such a fucking like wild card. I can't put my finger on it, but I think because all the media went against him too, so it's like he had to have been going against it.
Well, it could be too. It could be too though that they allowed him to be in office just to create extra turmoil for 4 years and then create damage and then pull his ass out.
I think that's also true as well. However, at the same time, they were going
demonize the Republican Party.
Exactly
that
polarizing it
and then polarize the people even more. Riots, Black Lives Matter.
You're fucking racist. You don't like black people because you like Trump. Shit like that, So that's why I was like fully the enemy, So
let's say these people that do pick presidents, quote unquote, parallel universe, right, and they're like, how can we do that? How can we destroy the country further? How can we separate the people further? Let this motherfucker go in office for a little bit, stir up his shit, do whatever he wants, and then 4 years, he's done enough what we need him to do, and bring in the next person.
But the thing though, as well, is that. That's why I'm so confused, though, is that if that was the case, why would it be so sketchy with the 2020 elections? You
what
get what
about
I'm saying?
it, though?
Where it was like, you're going to tell me that Biden was the most voted for president?
Because that's the thing, is that he was that way, Trump, and he got everybody's vote. Really, everybody wanted him to get reelected. But since they picked the president, they basically did that voter fraud so they can still have a control. Allegedly.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying, though. If he was, but because what we're insinuating prior is that Trump is in on it too, right? So if that's the case, why would the elections go down that way? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Why would all the media completely go against him too? So that's what I'm saying. I mean, we've seen him too. There's that, and once again, this is a picture from Instagram. So how can we say how valid it is?
Right.
But there was that picture of him with a bunch of fucking Jewish bankers.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
And it was a little
smooching the wall.
Oh, smooching the wall too. I mean, unless somebody photoshopped that, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think that was real.
Yeah.
But who knows about that banker shit? Somebody could have just put labels over that. Who knows?
True.
How do you know the people who those people are?
How do we know who those people are?
Exactly, and it's so easy to just post something on Instagram and say this is what it is when it's fucking
and people
not.
believe it. It's like literally so easily.
But same. I mean that's the same type of approach I take with everything, where it's like, okay, what are all the elements in this situation, and then once I figure out what all the elements are, or at least to the best I can, then I come up with my own conclusion of what I think the reality of it is, despite anybody's influence,
Right.
you know? Because even, like, for example, with, like, there's times, too, that I've said shit about, like, the Democratic, I can't think of one thing top of mind right now, but in regards to politics, there's something that I've said against that, for example, with Dad, that Dad doesn't necessarily agree with. You know, I can't think of what it is right now. I don't fucking know. Let's just say, no, I'm not even going to go there. But nonetheless, I mean, I think it's just so important to be able to think on your own. Get all the conclusions, all the information that's possible for that particular thing. Then at the end of the day, look at everything and make your own decision based off of what you think and your principles and your morals, you know? But the important part is that we need to have access to the freedom of information on both sides, or on all sides, whether it's left, right. We need to be able to see everything. I want to see all the documents. Show me all the fucking documents. I want to see all the parameters. Show me all the parameters, because I don't need you to tell me how I should be viewing these documents.
Yeah.
I'll view these documents. I'll view the videos.
Don't tell me
Then
what
I'll
to
come up with
think.
my own fucking conclusion. You know?
Yeah.
I don't need some guy on a fucking suit to tell me what the fuck to think.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is that a lot of people give away their thought to these other people, and they don't ask what's this guy's intention for me.
Yeah.
They never fucking ask that question. They just say, well, this is a guy on the fucking TV. Let me go ahead and just accept
Intent
what he
to
says.
everything too.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, the important part is to ask, once again, we've talked about this prior before, but what is this guy's intent for me? You know, is he trying to fucking profit from me? Is he trying to push some kind of agenda?
I feel like that's almost like a life-changing question to ask yourself.
It is. It definitely is. And
What
it's
is
an
this
important
person's
question to
intent?
ask, because they can be manipulating you without you even really realizing it. And little do you know, you think this guy's doing good for you. However, he has a fucking an agenda behind the table. Now, I'm not saying that's how it is with everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's proper to go around life thinking that everybody's trying to manipulate you.
Well, and it's just good to ask.
But when it comes down to
What's this person's
influential
intent?
decisions, right? Then we have to kind of come to our own conclusion, whatever it may be, whether it's politics or whether it's a life decision, you know. Then we have to really think about these things. About okay, I'll give you another quick example. There's times where I will think around a thought about like a statement about something, and I automatically in my mind, probably because I've practiced this quite some time, but automatically I can subconsciously I can automatically connect where that initial thought came from. And I know it's somebody that was an authority figure in my life. And I immediately, boom, know where it came from. And I'm like, all right, let me ask. Does this person, the person that initially that created this thought in my mind, solidified this thought in my mind about that one particular thing, that a belief about something, do they have the proper context to come up with their own belief in that sense that then got passed on to me? You know, so I'm able to question those things. And that's just an example of that, you know. I mean, this is versatile across the table, but nonetheless, I don't think fucking being fat is beautiful. I don't fucking think being overweight is beautiful, and I don't think we should be promoting it either.
I mean, you're entitled to that.
And I mean, let's just give a quick example before we wrap it up. Is that's like me going on a magazine and fucking putting a robber on there, and then it's guys with a ski mask, and it's like this guy with a fucking bag, and me saying he's a fucking person though. He probably just made some bad decisions, but he's still a good guy.
Yeah, I guess.
He's still good, but why the fuck are we promoting it? Why are we putting this in a magazine across the fucking United States or wherever it's at?
So do you think that there's like some things that are off limits to say that aren't beautiful? Like, because people could be like, big noses aren't beautiful. That like, you know, like what's the difference?
Well, the thing is, the difference is that a big nose doesn't highlight unhealthy habits in your life.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Whereas being fat as fuck does.
Yeah.
You know.
Or think about too, like them just saying it's okay to be broke. It's okay. You don't have money to pay your bills. It's cool, bro. You're rich in your
Apply
mind,
for
bro.
ABT.
Yeah, exactly. And same thing too about they're trying to fucking make it okay to eat cockroaches and shit.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're starting to put like content out and watching. Now that you're aware of it, you'll probably see some shit in the future. They have like celebrities eating bugs.
Yeah. They're always the
I'm telling you,
stage.
there's like literally like a fucking matrix, and they utilize these different, like, we can call them pawns on the table.
Celebrities.
Is that because people are gonna be poor, like in a
Exactly,
little bit?
because remember we were talking about the division of the classes before,
Yes.
about the rich and the poor.
Yes.
And they're gonna come in and replace everybody with robots. So now the people in the middle class, are no longer, we don't fucking need them.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna squish them down. We're gonna put a fucking VR headset on their ass. So now they even need to go. They don't have to even go outside. And then on top of that, we're gonna make them eat fucking cockroaches because these guys are a fucking nuisance. And we're gonna pump up the money. We're gonna fucking put in a bunch of inflation that way because they own a bunch of assets. So when inflation goes rampant, their assets go up in value. But everybody else is getting they have their time tied to money, so they're working for a paycheck. So then we end up devaluing the dollar, Now we're setting up some kind of concoction where we can really suppress people, and we're going to increase taxes. And Communist Manifesto talks about a taxation is the way to go. The more taxation we can have, the more control that we have. The least amount of real estate these people can have access to, the more, hypothetically speaking, the more control that we can have. And these guys, in this twilight zone, these hypothetical guys operate in 5, 10, 20-year spans. So these guys are thinking years in advance, and they use these fucking pawns, celebrities, whatever, the media, whatever the fuck.
Feminism.
McDonald's, all these fucking nasty ingredients. So you're not, fluoride, hypothetically, not saying that's the case. Look it up. Anyways, nonetheless, carcinogens in the public water supply, the shit that you shower with, the shit that your skin touches. Then we could say, too, also the thing that potentially could calcify the pineal gland, which makes you not spiritually tapped to where you can't tap into infinite intelligence. Why would they do that? Not too sure. Maybe it's just an accident. Who fucking knows?
And on that note.
Nonetheless. But yeah, point being, though, this is once again, let me tie it up here by saying that this is why independent thought is fucking important.
Yes.
Because you need to be able to ask yourself what the fuck is going on, because everybody knows that this past fucking 3 years, 5 years, there's been fucking sketchy shit going on. This shit's not normal. So it's time to fucking start asking questions and put aside your fucking, your past beliefs of how you thought the world operated. Because the reality is that what you think, how the world operates, isn't that fucking way, you know? But nonetheless, we'll wrap it up here, guys. I forgot to do the house cleaning at the beginning of the episode. But nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed the episode, if you guys got any kind of value from this episode, be sure to share it with somebody who will also attain the same value. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Road to Freedom. That's at The Road to Freedom Podcast. The number 2 at The Road to number 2 Freedom Podcast. Be sure to also follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is the way to be at, the place to be at, because you get to see our interactions. You get to see our facial expressions. You can crack up with us when we laugh. But nonetheless, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Turn on your bell notification, hashtag YouTuber. And then 2, last thing that we'll say here is that I'm curious what you guys think. So whatever kind of topics that came up and you feel that you maybe have a counter argument or that you agree with, or you want to say something about something that we've said, put it in the comment section. I'm curious of what you think. We will 100% reply to you. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You guys want to say your Instagrams before we dip?
Flip it, Tyler. Remember it. Write it down. Do something. Flip it, Tyler. Put it on the billboard. Flip it, Tyler.
Mine's just my name.
Please don't flip. What is it?
It's Alyssa Lupercio _.
Yeah, and you can find it in everything in the description in regards to all the Instagram, all the handles, and all the Road to Freedom stuff. That's the most important. But nonetheless, always remember to defend freedom.
Yep.
And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
The next one.
Peace out.
Yeah, I've been saying I was rich since I was broke. Yeah, it's a state of mind you gotta know. Yeah, that is gonna happen for sure. Had to take my time, take it slow.
The frogs are gay.